In this video, I'm going to talk about how to practice and improve Georgian language's phonetics pronunciations. Georgian language, as you know, has 33 letters, and some of them and its sounds are a little bit different from the majority of languages that we know and that we speak. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to practice, how to improve our pronunciation in Georgian, especially for those sounds that are a little bit, tricky. There are three steps that we need to take, but the first of all, the zero step, the very first step before we take the three steps, is that I will recommend you that you would never ever read English Latin alphabets when you want to practice Georgian sounds. For some people, as you may know, there are some sounds. Maybe I'm going to introduce those Georgian sounds, but these sounds, I think they will appear here. These sounds are quite different from how it is written in English Latin alphabets, right? So the very first thing that we need to keep in our mind is that when we want to practice, when we want to improve Georgian language pronunciation, we need to look at the only Georgian alphabets and better not to read the English alphabets because they are not the same. So read the Georgian alphabets and practice the sound as it is without English alphabets. Now, keeping that in mind, the very first step that we need to take is that first of all, we need to listen a lot. For example, parrots, right? The birds that they speak, right? They actually imitate us and human's speech, but they don't start speaking or talking unless they have inputs. First, they listen to us, they hear how we speak, how we talk as input, and they start producing the sounds which are similar to what we are producing. So what I want to say is that first of all, when we want to kind of practice the pronunciation, work on the pronunciation, first we need to listen. For example, as I said, there are 33 letters in Georgians. Most of the sounds are quite similar to, for example, English, right? For example, like is Magaritat, Magida, right? Magida, desk. But these sounds are quite similar to almost the same as English, right? So first we need to listen to the Georgian sounds and find out which sounds are very similar and no need to practice. This is the very first step that we need to take, and find out that which sounds would need extra attention, extra practice because they are different from English. This is the first step. Find out, listen a lot, listen to the sound, Georgian sound a lot, and find out which sounds are easy to produce for us, and which sounds are very hard to produce for us. The second step that we can take is after finding out which sounds are very hard for us, for example, k, ch, z, extra. We can take more time to improve those pronunciations, those sounds. First of all, if you have the grammar books, if you don't have grammar books, I recommend you this book because I learned Georgian with this book, but it has some kind of explanation with descriptions on how to produce those sounds in words. So first you can read, and in explanations you will have some kind of tips or you can have some kind of guess that on how to produce those sounds. For example, when you want to say like cat, right? You want to kind of stop your throat instantaneously and open the open the throat at the moment or something like this. So first of all, finding out those difficult pronunciation sounds, and you can kind of read the explanations in words or sentences, and then listen to the sounds over and over again until your ears get used to hearing those sounds. And also, I will recommend you to kind of observe how Georgian people produce those sounds that you find difficult. For example, etc. I think most of the sounds that we find as foreigners find difficult are ejective sounds. It's like ejaculation of sound from your throat, right? When you observe Georgian people's throat, when they produce those ejective sounds, they use a lot of relatively strong muscle here, on here, like It took me around 2-3 weeks to be able to produce those sounds, and I had no idea how to produce those sounds. But when I observed how Georgian people and my Georgian friends produce those sounds, I found that, you guys use these muscles to produce those sounds. So visual information also can be helpful for us to get hints on how to produce those difficult sounds. And the last step is to imitate how your Georgian friends speak, talk, and behave, and maybe imitate Georgian friends speech, tone, voice, etc., etc. For all the languages I'm learning, I always have some kind of a language model for me. As for English, I had one friend, and I was watching some dramas in English, and there were some actors that I found very kind of cool. So I decided to kind of imitate how they spoke English. And for Georgian as well, you can find, if you are male, if you're female, whatever, you can find some kind of, your friends as a model as reference, and you can kind of, observe how they talk, the words the words that they use, and their speech, their voice, their tone, etc., etc., and kind of slowly imitate. You can imitate how they talk, how they speak. With this, I'm pretty much sure that we can improve our pronunciations in Georgian sharply. Having said that, I think a lot of input is very important. It's very important, and observation, and also a lot of practice. But when foreigners like us, expats like us, produce those like that's frog, right? Kind of very well. Georgian people get very surprised, and they get very astonished. So it's worth the efforts that we need to take. It's kind of fun to see their reactions as well. So, and also I'm teaching Georgian 33 letters and also pronunciations as well in the videos. So if you're curious, you can watch those videos as well. I also teach grammars, some useful phrases as well in Georgian. Hopefully it will be helpful for you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Today, that's pretty much it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Abahe.
This is also ejective sound. It's not like t, it's not like English T, but it's ejective sound, ejective one. So t. Of course, you have to hold your ear straight here once, just a little bit, and produce the sound instantaneously.